And this week, the children whose lives were shattered on October 7th gathered at the Museum of Tolerance in Jerusalem, along with international social media influencer and pro-Israel activist Montana Tucker, for the premiere of the documentary The Children of October 7th. ILTV attended the event and spoke to Montana Tucker about the film and her advocacy work. Let's take a look. It was a moving and emotional night at the Museum of Tolerance in Jerusalem, where former hostages, families of hostages, and child survivors of the October 7th massacre gathered for the premiere of the documentary film The Children of October 7th. The film, presented by singer, dancer, actress, and pro-Israel activist Montana Tucker, shares the testimonies of the children who survived the horrors of Hamas's massacre and showcases their incredible resilience. We just saw the premiere. I think there weren't a lot of dry eyes at the end of it. What was that experience like for you to make this film?
I said this up there and I'll say it again. I've done a lot of incredible things in my life, but this by far is the most important, the most meaningful, most impactful thing I think I'll ever be able to do. These children that I've met and these stories that I've heard will stay with me forever. And you know, it's something I say about just Israelis in general, the strength and resilience, but people don't understand like what these kids have really gone through and what they continue to go through. I interviewed them a year after the attack, and you still see the trauma and you still see what they're going through every day, the loss of their parents, the memories of them being a hostage, but their stories need to be heard and told everywhere, especially with all the denial that is going on in the world. And I live in the US and I hear it every single day. And that's why I continue to come back to Israel as much as I can to be here on the grounds to share the personal stories. And I think this documentary is going to really open a lot of people's eyes.
The screening was attended by Israel's President Yitzhak Herzog and First Lady Michal Herzog, who along with Tucker met with the children and their families ahead of the premiere. Among the many testimonies in the film is the harrowing story of 16-year-old Rotem Matias, who witnessed the murder of both of his parents by Hamas terrorists. He hid under his deceased mother's body for hours, allowing him to survive. 12-year-old Eitan Yahalomi was taken hostage into Gaza and held captive for 52 days before being released in a hostage deal. The film highlights the enduring trauma he and the other children continue to face.
My grandparents are Holocaust survivors. I grew up hearing their stories my whole life. My grandmother was 13 years old when she was taken to Auschwitz and had to see her mother get beaten up and dragged to her death at the gas chambers. And I grew up hearing those stories. And so hearing the stories of these children reminded me so much of my grandmother and the stories that she would tell me. I'm really grateful that Castina Communications asked me to be a part of this project. You know, I do a lot with children when it comes to dancing and singing. If you look through my social media, you'll see that. So this was an extension of me and to work with children in such a different way. And I'm really honored that they felt comfortable enough sharing the stories with me, and these are extremely vulnerable. I keep correcting myself. Testimonies that they shared and that they're comfortable with the world hearing, and all I can do is hope and pray that the world sees these and it really opens their eyes.
Tucker added that she hopes the film will help combat the denial of the atrocities of October 7th and the growing tides of anti-Semitism, particularly among the younger generation. Following the ceremony, Tucker, along with 16-year-old child survivor Ella Shani and the CEO of the Museum of Tolerance, Jonathan Rees, toured the museum exhibit 629 From Darkness to Light, which features personal testimonies of 25 brave women who survived the Hamas massacre.
The 0629 is a unique exhibition. It starts from the testimony of Ella Shani, who tells about how she found out that her father was dead. And it together with Zivkor and photos, it set you in the context of what happened on that day. After that, we have more than 30 screens that each one of them has more than 40 testimonies in English, Arabic, and Hebrew of women, that each one of them tells the story of how she experienced the atrocities. The important part of it is that every day we added more and more testimonies. We have Muslims and we have Jews and we have Christians, and it doesn't matter which religion it is, whether it's Bedouins, whether it's Israelis that lives in the south or the north. They all experience these atrocities in different ways, and I think the exhibition helped us to connect between people from different walks of life.
Reese says, though, that the message is one of hope.
The message is trust humankind. At the end of the day, the goodness will win. The good people will win. We saw it with Harvut Adadit, with mutual responsibility. At the end of the day, we call it from darkness to light because the light was huge. We saw how people from different walks of life helped each other to come over the vacuum that was there